So, how about a proper video blog to finish off this day? I almost have to check the calendar and figure out how many days it is. So, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is the end of the 5th day. 5. We are almost in Alberta. We're right around Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina, that's what it's called. If you don't know about Canada, Regina, Saskatchewan is sort of in the middle of the country, even though we've actually crossed over the country line. We also crossed over a line that said we were in the Arctic watershed again. So basically we went to something like 364 meters, I think it was something like that, where we were at the Arctic watershed and the Atlantic watershed split. It was a neat ridge, but the whole landscape was really high at that point. And then we did a lot of valleys. We went down to the Thunder Bay area at the top of Lake Superior. And then not too long after Lake Superior, we got into another, it's like, I'm guessing 700 something meters over sea level at the far west side of Ontario. And then that was again another split between the Arctic watershed toward Thunder Bay and the Atlantic watershed before Thunder Bay, and then the Arctic watershed again on the west side of Thunder Bay. Very cool stuff, because Canada, of course, if you don't know anything about Canada and you happen to be watching this video, you got to Google it and find out how huge this country actually is. It's huge. We've got 3 major world oceans connected to this country. The largest freshwater deposit anywhere. And there's so much water and snow and freshwater stuff going on that the hydronics in this country is unbelievable. Anyways, now we're out in the plains. We're in Regina, Saskatchewan. There's literally nothing here. This is you've seen this just now on the video, but there's literally fields and fields of wheat and canola oil, or canola plants for canola oil. Wheat, of course, for every possible thing to feed the entire world. So Canada produces a hideous amount of grains and oil seeds and stuff like that. Hideous amount, because this is a huge fertile plateau here in Canada. Tons of farms, tons and tons. So let's talk about some technical things. The Embassy, which is this RV, the Embassy is running, if I have a tailwind, I can get up to 11 miles per gallon. If I have a side wind, it's 10.8. Now I've had a headwind for the last half of today, so the headwind brought me down to 10.6. My speed has not changed. I'm running 102, 103 kilometers per hour, or 61, 62 miles an hour, and right around there. No issues at all. It's a smooth, quiet, comfortable ride. We're loving it. The load meter is somewhere between 50 and 60 when I'm in the side wind or tailwind. It goes up to 60 to 75 when I'm in a headwind. No big deal. There's no stress on the RV at all. We're very comfortable in here. We just made pizza in the oven and had a fantastic dinner. And you've seen my sticker wall. I'm stopping at a whole bunch of craft breweries all along the way because I find that particularly interesting as a hobby. So that's what I've been doing. This is the end of whatever day I just said it was, because I already forgot. We're in the windy plains and we're having a great time. And tomorrow we will cross through the Alberta line and we will be in central Alberta for tomorrow night at a nice lake. Hopefully I'll do some fishing again. I've already done fishing 4 times on this trip. But with that said, Ontario is so huge. It took us, I think, 4 or 5 days just to get through Ontario. So, anyways, we did Manitoba today. Across the entire province of Manitoba today. Some of Ontario and some of Saskatchewan. So that was no problem. Like Manitoba, I think, was like a 6-hour drive. You can drive right across the whole province. We're almost halfway through Saskatchewan. We're going to do that again tomorrow, and then we'll be well into Alberta. And I don't know, an update for later. Bye-bye. The sun is burning a hole in my eye. Look at the sun directly.
No.
You're no fun. Okay. We're at this gorgeous campground. It's really hard to believe what we came through to find this place, but literally there's this crystal clear body of water, and it's just incredible. And it's literally in the middle of these plains. Like, it's so freaking and weird. I mean, this is clear water. So, very cool. Anyway, here we are.
I got water in my shoe.
I got water in your shoe. It's fun. There we go, the water. So, let's finish today. Do you know what day it is? What day is it?
Tuesday the 9th.
No, not that. How many days has it been since we started traveling?
5 days.
So it's star date number 5. We saw the biggest fields I've ever seen in my life today. Definitely, I thought the fields in the Saskatchewan plains were big. They were 3 or 4 miles long each. Today, I saw fields easily 10 or 12 miles long. Nothing in between, nothing separating the field, just rolling hills. Some of them were actually flat as an absolute pancake, to the point where it was so flat. Just before we got here to this campground, it was so flat that if you looked out the right side, you could kind of see the earth curve off, and like both ways. Like, there's literally, you could see the curve of the earth out of both windows. It's so unbelievably flat, it's ridiculous. And we're only like 3 hours away from the Rocky Mountains, so that's going to change everything tomorrow. And looking forward to that. Let me see. We had a headwind today. Mileage on the Embassy went down to 10.5. And what else happened today?
Oh yeah, in Pokemon I got my Absol level 100, which is a great achievement. My first level 100 Pokemon.
If you understood any of that, press the like button. Welcome to Alberta. Just a tiny bit of breeze up here, but basically I'm just going to walk around in a circle so you can kind of see what this terrain is all about. There's some kind of bird nesting in the grass over here. So when you get into the middle of Alberta in Canada, there's no trees unless they were planted by somebody. I mean, there's literally no trees. This is basically a sand and gravel plain that goes on for hundreds of thousands of square miles. And this is where the buffalo used to roam. I mean, it's an incredible place. It really is a totally incredible place. Definite change of scenery over here today. So to end this day, we're at our campsite here in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, and it's pretty amazing. It really is. I'm really impressed with this campsite. This is kind of just run by the province, and you can reserve these, you know, basically just a piece of gravel road. and you can reserve that and get to be in this beautiful scenery here. I mean, it really is an incredible place. So today we drove up basically for about, I'm gonna say 600 kilometers we climbed to get from the plains to the mountains. There's just such a huge elevation change. It was really interesting. This country has so much change in the scenery. So here we are, and that was the end of another amazing day of driving. Now we got 5 days here of basically no more real travel and just a lot of relaxing, visit with family, and we're going to check out Bighorn Dam and all that stuff. So lots of fun stuff there.
2 minutes to find my socks. You can take them out, they're a little bit dusty, but yeah, they have briquette barbecues. But yeah, they started making these because it was more efficient for the trains, which is basically the main reason why we started making them here. Look at that briquette.
Yeah. So we spent 2 days in the, I guess it's the Bighorn Dam area, which is kind of it's in Alberta. We spent 2 days down in the river basin there at Abrams Lake, doing tiny trucking with RC trucks and lots of great friends. And we made it up to the Athabasca Glacier here. So there's several mountain peaks here. Some of these, like, that's a big one right there. One of these right around here somewhere, I forget the name of it, is the highest one in the Rocky Mountains. That's pretty high. So the Athabasca, well, that's the Athabasca Glacier there. This one is, I forget what it's called. There's another one over there. There's actually several more that are up on the mountain here. And you can see the glacier there has a little bit of a drain creek coming out of it. It kind of looks dirty there, but as soon as you go downstream a little bit, it turns into this bright blue color. It's really cool. So that's one of our adventures today. We're going to be ended up way back down into Banff area and Canmore, so hopefully we'll give you a bit of an update at that time.